Yabarakata Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashai. Excuse me. This is Nabi Ahaya Elu Elohim Malek Boaz Ban Yochanan Ban Dawid of Yahuda. And this should be the very last video and last installment of Scriptures Not Taught in Church, Deuteronomy 28. In the last video, I went over about 10 verses. It was 47 through down to this point here. And it was explaining some of the plight that we will go through in this final captivity that Yahuwah had sent us into. What's even more interesting is that very specifically does it mention America. It mentions America in two specific ways, and I will go ahead and repeat that for you right now. First, the way that it mentions America is that it will be a nation from the end of the earth. And in antiquity, naturally, no one knew about the Americas because all civilization was on the east end of the plain. And so they thought the end of the world was right over the edge of America. You know, that's where you would be able to fall off the edge of the world, so to speak. Okay, so the Bible says that a nation from far, from the end of the earth, is what Yahuwah will bring against us. The very next line says, it says a nation. I'm sorry, that's the wrong area. The very next line says, as swift as the eagle flies. What is our national bird here in America? It's the bald eagle. So the Bible clearly told us, and very specifically told us, that we will be enslaved in the United States of America. That's prophecy for you people. So let's go ahead and finish this out. It says, if you do not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that you may fear this glorious and fearful name, Yahuwah Ahaya Elohim, then Yahuwah will make your plagues wonderful, and the plagues of your seed even greater plagues, and of long continence and sore sicknesses, and of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring you all the distresses of Egypt, which you were afraid of, and they shall stick to you. Also, every sickness and every plague, which is not written in the book of this law, them will Yahuwah bring on you until you be destroyed. You shall be left few in number, whereas you were as the stars of heaven for a multitude, because you would not obey the voice of Yahuwah Elohim. And it shall come to pass that as Yahuwah rejected over you to do you good, and it shall come to pass that as Yahuwah rejoiced over you to do good and to multiply you, so Yahuwah rejoiced over you to destroy you and to bring you to nothing. And you shall be plucked from off the land where you go to possess it. We were plucked out of Israel. And Yahuwah shall scatter you among the people from one end of the earth even to the other, and there you shall serve other gods like Jesus Christ, even wood and stone, like the saints, like Saint Michael, Saint Joseph, Saint Mary Magdalene. And among these nations shall you find no ease. No one gives us rest anywhere among this world, because we are God's chosen, and we have broken God's laws, and we still won't fully wake up and accept the fact that we have to get back to following those laws if we want to get back to the level of prestige and a pedestal that Yahuwah had originally put us on. But Yahuwah shall give you there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. And your life shall hang in doubt before you, and you shall fear day and night, and shall have no assurance of your life. And that's amazing. In over 500 years here in America, we are still living like that, aren't we? Eric Garner, that was his name. Aren't we still living like that? Philando Castile, Eric Garner. Are we still not fearful day and night? Don't we still not have any assurance of our life here in this country? And if you can answer yes to either one of those questions, if not both of them, then you must come to the realization and the acknowledgement that you, my dear friend, are one of the children of the lost tribes of Israel, and that you, my dear friend, need to drop Christianity and you need to pick back up the laws, statutes, and commandments that Yahuwah had originally given us, so that way we can rebound in the glory of God himself. In the morning you shall say, would God it were evening. And in evening you shall say, would God if it were morning. For the fear of your heart with which you shall fear, and for the sight of your eyes which you shall see. And Yahuwah shall bring you into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spoke to you, you shall see it no more again. And there you shall be sold to your enemies for slaves and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you or save you. Okay, now there's a couple of very important things that I want to mention about this right here. First and foremost, the very last line, no man shall buy you. Now that word can be interchangeable with save. No man shall save you. Nobody will save you. But let's keep that word as what it is and do your history, and you will come to find out that the very first, transportees that came to America, which landed in Virginia, not in Massachusetts, was about 21 to 26 people. And they were all so badly sickened and damaged that they were not purchased. They were traded off as slaves and bondwomen. They were sold as a barter, not purchased with money, but purchased with the trading of another item or good. No man shall buy you. That was another very factual, prophetic statement. Nobody wanted to buy us when we first landed here because we were disgusting, disease-ridden, and feeble. Now, something else. 68 says, and Yahuwah shall bring you into Egypt again with ships. Naturally, everyone knows that Egypt means bondage or slavery. Now, anytime that we went into slavery, I'm speaking of Israel, that is, we never went by way of ship. We went by way of caravan. We walked either to Assyria, to Babylon, or to Egypt. We walked. All these areas were located relatively on the very same landmass that we were also located on. Why then all of a sudden does the Bible tell us that we will go into Egypt, which is a place that we walked into slavery in the first place, that we will be going there again with ships? That doesn't make sense. Unless you do precept upon precept, line upon line, and you go back up to 47 or 49. You go back up to 49 and you find out that a nation from the end of the earth, as swift as an eagle, is what's being brought upon us. So those two lines, those two verses, they coincide with one another. A nation from the end of the earth will set sail and bring ships to take you, Israel, back into Egypt or bondage or slavery. And naturally it says, by the way whereof I spoke to you, you shall see it no more again. Of course, we're never going to go back into this slavery again. We're never going to go back into this bondage again. Once we finally realize who we are, and we start following all the law, statutes, and commandments, and Yahuwah opens up the way for us to go back home to Israel or Yasharal, then we will have no need to be shipped back out to America. For we will once again realize that we are the chosen people, that we are kings and queens, princes and princesses, and that we are priests of the Most High Yah. And we will begin to live the life that he had expected us to live, that he had wanted us to live. And we will be rejective of all that he wanted us to be rejective of. So therefore, we will never once again see that route of slavery. For we will be free, fully and totally free. I do definitely hope that this lesson has helped you, that it has helped to open your eyes a little bit. I pray that I've been able to edify you, even slightly, and to educate you at least a little bit on not only the book itself and the prophecy that it's speaking of, but a little bit of history and a little bit of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we all need to have, especially if you have black skin, and black or brown skin, I should say. Anywhere from a light cream color all the way to a dark charcoal color. All of you people, all your beautiful shades of colors, you are all children of Yasharal, children of Israel. You are not Christians. Okay? And so we need to stop that. And we need to come back to Yahuwah and come back to the laws so we can come back home. Baruch and Shalom.